Um, Ladies and gentlemen, I am glad again as a political activist to have a barrister, Akere, who is such a humble person. As you can see, I'm in his hotel room. I will not hide that from you. I just stumbled on him in Berlin. I decided to come and meet him to have a conversation with him. So, barrister, you're welcome to Berlin.
Well, thank you very much. I'm here actually invited by the GIZ and the Ministry of Cooperation of the German government to give an opening speech at the Europe Africa dialogue on illicit financial flows. So that's what I thought I should reach out and let's have a chat.
Okay. So, I know you have been lately. You have been in Cameroon. You were saying, I think one last weekend or so,
In
in the
Kembon.
crisis zone in Kembong and so on and so forth. So, what is your appreciation of the situation as somebody who actually went there and we saw you in church and so on? Just can you just brief us what you saw
Well,
there?
well listen, I had taken the engagement to travel, and my travel is not haphazard. It's a reasoned move that I've taken. I started by traveling abroad to make sure that people understand what I plan to do, and I chose certain countries to go to meet Cameroonians in the diaspora, to explain to them what I'm trying to do. I went to Lebanon because I admire the uh, the Lebanese people and the way they have fought and sought economic progress.
Yes.
As you know, there are 5 million people in Lebanon who are Lebanese, and there are 18 million Lebanese outside. And Lebanese have this thing that they are people who, when they migrate, they are sedentary, they settle,
Yes.
and they integrate very easily. So I wanted to see, and I'm seeing the progress that Ivory Coast is making. And Ivory Coast has a population of over 120 Lebanese. And so does Nigeria, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Senegal. So I wanted to see what magic one could get. And so I understand, so I could understand, because our economy is distressed. Whoever takes over the country will need to do a lot of work and have a lot of connections. So I did that for economic reasons to also understand. When I was in Lebanon, I benefited to go to some of those refuges,
Okay.
which is managed by the Catholic Church or by Caritas, to see these ladies who were taken out there uh, in some kind of slavery. So I was able to see that. I actually met a young Cameroonian lady there whom we are trying to bring back home. So I did that. That is why I've been traveling abroad, meeting people I've worked with before, telling them what Applied is, what we tend to do. Now that I was done, I'm now back home, going around back home, meeting the people in small groups and talking to them face to face. You cannot have that in a rally. So I go, I meet people face to face in their villages, in their huts, and I talk to them, and they can talk to me, they can ask me questions. And it's now that I've seen that the suffering of Cameroonians is is amazing. And the resilience of Cameroonian people is really amazing. So I firstly went by driving from Yaoundé all the way to Marwa, stopping at many villages, and the main cities were, Bertois in the east, Ngaoundé in Adamawa, Garoua north, and Marwa extreme north, and some villages in between to talk to people. I did that. And after which, of course, Boko Haram has a stronghold in extreme north. So after which, and I decided to go to the southwest. And my first drive was from Yaoundé straight to Mamfe, where I met His Holiness, or His Lordship, I should say, His Lordship Bishop Kea, who received us and briefed us on the situation in the division. And that's what happened. And we spoke to him and found out. And I went out to Kembong, where I saw the kind of destruction that you cannot imagine. The biggest village, or even city in Manu, emptied from 6,000 people to around 5 people in the village.
Barrister, I don't. Yes, I am very interested in that incident of Kembong that you're describing because I read a press release from Atanganji, actually saying that the burnings was done by our brothers of the other camp. He did not make mention of the atrocities that have been caused in Kembong or in specific villages. What is how do you put that in which context do you put that?
Well, listen, Cameroon politicians and ministers say a lot of stuff. I'm not concerned with what they say because we know who they are serving when they say that. So it's a debate I won't get into. What I can only talk about is what I've seen.
Okay.
I traveled to Manfe, I went to Kembong, and with my own eyes, I saw houses burnt. People were asked to leave their houses, and the houses were burnt down and destroyed. This was after a gendarme was killed. And the force of law and order thought that collective punishment was the best way to be able to find out who did it. And then afterwards, more gendarmes were killed, and there were more burnings of houses. Over 40 houses were burnt. So, from one, two, three, or four gendarmes, or some few people, you have now 6,000 people homeless. If you ask them to come back, where will they live? So the human disaster and human suffering you're seeing there is huge. And there are many, over 20 villages in Manu in that position where everybody has left. The internally displaced population is increasing. Okay, it's increasing amazingly. And also, of course, the ranks of the refugees are increasing in Nigeria. And what people don't remember is the fact that most of these people are farmers. And if they don't plant, now this is the planting season,
Yes.
if they don't